They drilled 100 meters through solid ice because something valuable was hiding far beneath the surface.
But before drilling, engineers must first determine where the hidden reservoir could be. Seismic sensors are deployed across the ice to map the formations hidden below.
The survey records how the frozen layers change with depth and where the structure becomes more promising. A second geophysical survey checks the first result before anyone commits to a deep well. The independent measurements converge on one location beneath the frozen surface. The drilling platform is then positioned precisely over the selected point. Now the search is over. The drill can finally begin its descent toward the hidden reservoir. The surveys are finished. Now the drill has to cross the ice and reach the formation hundreds of meters below.
The first sections of drill pipe are lowered into the borehole, one connection at a time.
Each new section extends the drill string deeper, while the rig keeps the well under control.
As the hole gets deeper, drilling fluid circulates through the pipe and returns through the well.
The returning fluid carries cuttings from the formation, giving the drilling team another look at what lies below.
Deeper now, the well reaches layers that were never exposed at the surface.
The deeper the drill goes, the more carefully pressure and well stability must be controlled.
Then the drill enters the final section of the target zone, and the next sample could reveal what they came here to find. After hundreds of meters, the drill finally reaches the formation the surveys predicted.
The drilling team slows the operation and collects material from the target formation. The sample is sealed immediately, preventing contamination from the surface environment. Inside the field laboratory, the material is tested for its chemical composition and physical properties. The results show a hydrocarbon-rich fluid, confirming that the deep formation is not just a geological anomaly. But finding hydrocarbons is only the beginning. The formation must still be evaluated before production can start. Pressure and flow measurements now determine whether the reservoir can support a controlled production well. The reservoir is confirmed. Now the exploration hole must be turned into a controlled production well. The reservoir is confirmed. Now the temporary exploration well has to become a controlled production well.
First, the well is prepared to receive its permanent casing. The casing is lowered into the borehole to isolate the well from the surrounding formation. Cement is then placed around the casing to create a permanent barrier.
Once the casing is secured, the well is opened again through the protected production section. At the surface, a production tree replaces the temporary drilling arrangement and gives engineers precise control of the well.
Only after the well is secured can the first controlled flow line be connected.
The well is complete. The next step is to bring the raw hydrocarbon to the surface and separate what comes out of the reservoir.
The well is ready. Now the raw hydrocarbon has to travel from the reservoir to the processing system.
At the wellhead, pressure is reduced and the production stream is controlled before entering the main flow line.
The raw mixture moves through the insulated line toward the first separation stage.
The first vessel separates the incoming hydrocarbon stream into its major phases.
Gas leaves through one controlled outlet, while the heavier liquid continues through the processing train. The separated liquid is then conditioned before it can become a usable fuel feedstock. Every stage is connected, but every stream remains controlled and traceable through the plant.
The raw hydrocarbon has now left the well and entered a controlled processing chain. Next, the fuel itself must be prepared.
The raw hydrocarbon has been separated. Now the useful fuel must be conditioned to the exact state the spacecraft can handle. The liquid first passes through filtration and treatment equipment that removes unwanted material from the fuel stream. Heat exchangers then bring the process to the temperature required for the next separation stage.
Inside the conditioning train, different hydrocarbon components are separated according to their physical properties. The heavier unwanted fractions leave through a separate controlled stream, while the selected fuel fraction continues forward.
Before storage, the selected fuel is stabilized and brought to the condition required for safe transfer.
What began as raw hydrocarbon is now a controlled fuel stream ready for storage.
The next challenge is no longer finding the fuel, but keeping it stable until the spacecraft is ready to use it.
The fuel is ready, but it cannot wait in an ordinary tank on this frozen world.
The conditioned fuel enters the storage system through a dedicated insulated transfer line. Inside each vessel, temperature and pressure must remain within tightly controlled limits. A separate pump system will later move the fuel from storage to the spacecraft.
From the tanks, the transfer line follows a single controlled route toward the launch area. At the transfer station, valves isolate the storage system from the spacecraft fueling line. Only when the spacecraft is secured will the transfer system be opened. The fuel has crossed the entire chain from reservoir to storage. Now one final connection stands between the frozen mine and launch. The fuel has made the journey from a reservoir beneath the ice to the launch site above it. Before fueling begins, the spacecraft is secured and every connection is checked. The transfer valve opens, and the conditioned fuel begins flowing through the final insulated line. The storage system feeds the vehicle until the required fuel load is reached. When fueling is complete, the transfer line is isolated and the spacecraft is disconnected from the facility. The ground systems withdraw, leaving the vehicle alone on the frozen launch platform. Everything that made the launch possible began hundreds of meters below this ice. And somewhere beneath this frozen world, the next supply of fuel is still waiting.